Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? The Philadelphia Eagles fall to the Pittsburgh Steelers by a final score of 38-29 in Week 5. The Eagles now drop to 1-3-1 on the season, and as of right now, still sit atop the NFC East, or the NFC least, I should say. But man, oh man, does this division stink. The Eagles stink, and look, man, welcome to Eagles Postgame Live. I'm so pissed off right now, not even at the fact that, the Eagles are a worse team. The Eagles are not as good as the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are not fully developed. We are not as healthy. I mean, we don't have as much talent as the Pittsburgh Steelers. But watching this game, look, it's been a long day for me. I've been up early since early hours in the morning, all right? And I just wanted to come home to seeing an Eagles win. But no. The Eagles cut a lead from 17 points down to 2. Everything is looking heroic. Carson Wentz is getting better and better as the game goes on. I mean, guys are stepping up. We're going to talk about some dudes. Travis Fulgham. I'm just going to leave that name out there. Do I even have to say anything? I'm looking at Travis Fulgham right now, and I'm literally, my jaw is dropping. My jaw is dropping. This guy had 10 catches for 152 yards. We're talking about the same Travis Fulgham who was on the practice squad weeks ago, who's never had an NFL catch until last week. The guy who was on 2 different practice squads, he comes up as a practice squad wide receiver, and he's the best wide receiver on a damn team that I've ever seen. I mean, are you kidding me, bro? Unbelievable game by Travis Fulgham, and it gets wasted. It gets wasted. I mean, 15 yards a catch for Travis Fulgham. I mean, I could not believe it. I mean, guys are stepping up, but the Eagles defense got absolutely obliterated today. Obliterated every which way that you can think of. What did I say? I said Jim Schwartz usually has a couple good games or two, a good stretch, and then he's just inconsistent. He just did not look like the same Jim Schwartz that I've saw the last 2 weeks. This Eagles defense was terrible. 38 points to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I mean, look, this game came down to the last couple stretches, man. I mean, we had the momentum. The Eagles had this game in our favor. But a couple things messed it up, man. Nathan Gerry, first he gets absolutely torched. It's 3.5 minutes left. Jake Elliott, Doug actually finally puts some trust up in Jake Elliott. And what does he do? He misses a 57-yarder. And, they said there was never a longer than a 53-yarder at Heinz Field and this and that. But look, Jake Elliott had enough distance on it. He just hit it. He just hit it to the right a little bit. That was a makeable field goal, 57 yards. I think it was a decent decision to go for the field goal. I mean, we got the touchdown before. We got the 2-point conversion. We got in position to go up 1 point with the field goal, and Jake Elliott missed it. Well, I don't know if Doug's going to be counting on him a lot more. But anyway, we come back, and our defense actually puts together a couple stops, couple bad penalties by the Steelers, a false start, just a couple bad ones in there. Then the Eagles end up getting a face mask, Brandon Graham, and then a couple other penalties that I can't remember. Darius Slay had a couple pass interferences all game. But holy crap, man. I mean, the Eagles finally get the chance to get a stop on 3rd and 8. And Nathan Gerry lined up in the slot in a cover 2, looking, I mean, how do you let that happen? This dude, Chase Claypool, has 3 total touchdowns on the day at the time. And you let him go and get his 4th total touchdown of the entire game. 4 touchdowns for Chase Claypool, the rookie. What is he, 23 years old, I think? 22, 23. The dude looked like he was a 10-year vet today. I mean, he absolutely just ran all over us today. Our corners were terrible. This was the first game where Darius Slay simply was not good enough. He just was not good. And look, we got a lockdown corner. Darius Slay has been that guy all year. He's been one of the bright spots on this team, but today he sucked. I mean, you just got to call it what it is. He was bad. He was very, very bad. Jalen Mills, they brought him back down to for the second corner after Avonte Maddox got injured. I mean, Jalen Mills, I've never been as big of a fan of him. He was terrible as well. He was terrible. Our entire secondary was trash. Our entire secondary sucked. And we're not getting a sufficient amount of pressure on Big Ben. We finished this game with what? 1 sack? 1 sack. We did not get nearly enough pressure on Big Ben that we needed. Our D-line did not play that well, not like we've seen the last couple weeks. And our secondary was trash. This was the most points that we put up offensively in a game, 29. Carson Wentz, I mean, look, man, he's still making some bad throws. He's still making some bad decisions. This week, he kind of regressed from the last couple weeks, man. This week, he regressed from the last couple weeks. Carson Wentz is not throwing the ball away, taking sacks. The Steelers ended with 5 sacks. I mean, come on, man. Carson Wentz not throwing the ball away, running around too much, not making decisions with the ball. I mean, he had Miles Sanders late wide open on a 3rd down, missed him. I mean, he got better as the game went on, but he simply was not good enough for the entirety of the game. I think he had, 5 passing yards in the first quarter. He had about 85 at halftime until a last play of the first half, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who actually got a catch. I mean, J.J. actually got a catch for 37 yards, I believe. And we throw it to J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, who falls in bounds. Carson throws it in bounds. Before that, John Hightower on a catch doesn't get out of bounds. And before that, John Hightower had an easy touchdown in the end zone. And he tries to catch it the wrong way. Hey, I mean, are you kidding me, John Hightower? Look, you are a rookie. You're a 5th rounder. But really, like, he tried to catch it like this. Why, John Hightower? I mean, it was an easy touchdown. Wentz put it right on the money, and you let that happen. Unbelievable, man. The D-line was trash. Our O-line even got worse. Our O-line was trash today. Even though they were bad, I'm not expecting these guys to hold up, for weeks and weeks. I mean, I know they're going to break down at some point because they just don't have enough. Lane Johnson goes out late in this game. But this is just disappointing, man. This is the reason that this game is disappointing. It's because I know the Steelers are a better team, but the Eagles had the momentum in this. The game was shifting towards Philadelphia. We cut the lead down to 2 points, and we can't finish this one off. We needed this one. This was a big one because you know who we got coming to town next week. And, man, Eagles fall to 1-3-1. Bad decisions, just bad scheme, and Jim Schwartz just looked nothing like he looked the past couple weeks. And the personnel in this secondary and Nathan Gerry is absolute garbage. Sit him, all right? TJ Edwards is down. Duke Riley went out late in the game. I don't care who we have to play. I really don't. I mean, where the hell is Sean Bradley? Where is Davion Taylor? These guys that we put our draft capital in. Well, you want to know the truth? We haven't drafted good for the past 4 years. When you have 1 or 2 guys that come out of a 4-year span of draft picks, that is not good enough. Miles Sanders is a beast. Oh, we'll talk about Miles Sanders, all right? Because let me tell you guys right now, look, I'm going to make a statement right now. I don't want anyone to take this the wrong way. Because I am a Doug Peterson supporter. I think he's done a lot and been able to shift the culture in a couple years here in Philly. But Doug Peterson should not go another game calling plays as the coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm not saying he should be fired, but I'm saying he should delegate his offensive powers, his offensive duties, play calling, to someone else. Give it to someone else. Because I don't understand, first off, right? how Doug Peterson can go from a first half in which there's no creativity, all right? Carson, he doesn't do anything to get Carson in his stride. He does nothing to get him in his stride. And then when the third and fourth quarter rolls around, I'm seeing Jalen Hurts come. Jalen Hurts threw an 18-yard pass. All right? I'm seeing guys pre-snap motion, having the defense off balance. But even late in the game, on an important drive, I didn't see Miles Sanders in there. It's just pass, and it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. The one bright spot today was Travis Fulgham. Like I said, the dude was absolutely on crack, unbelievable. Travis Fulgham is the new number one wide receiver of the Philadelphia Eagles, and it's unbelievable. He's the number one. Travis Fulgham is that dude because, you can tell when a guy gets lucky for a game or the defense might not know him, and then the distinction of when a guy is good. Travis Fulgham, I don't know how the dude went under the radar. He's good. He's good. That is the biggest bright spot today. Carson Wentz has found his new toy because his right-hand man, Mr. Zach Ertz, Mr. I want a contract, he stinks. Zach Ertz literally gave up on an interception. He gave up. I mean, he was supposed to run a slant. He gets bumped in the right shoulder. And what does Zach Ertz do? He stops running. I'm disappointed in Zach Ertz. And here's the main point I wanted to get to. Zach Ertz was disappointing. The O-line, they're not as talented. I can't be that mad, but Carson Wentz has to get rid of the ball better. He has to get rid of the ball. He almost lost it a couple times. Here's what I'm pissed off about. How come every single week, and how many times do I have to say this? Run the damn ball, Doug. Run it. Run it. Run it. Run it. I don't understand. Can someone please explain it to me? You're telling me that Miles Sanders goes from 20 carries to 18 carries to 16 carries to 13 carries. I'm sorry, not even 13. 20 to 18 to 16 to 11. Miles Sanders had 11 carries for 80 yards, and one of them was a 74-yard touchdown early in the game. The dude is averaging over 7 yards a carry. How do you not continue to run the ball? Can someone please show me a stat sheet, give it to Doug Peterson, and tell me, how does Miles Sanders run the ball 11 times in this game? It is unbelievable. It is unbelievable. It's Kanga. You said their run defense was first in run defense. Look, I don't care. I don't care. So you're telling me if an opposing team is the best in passing, in pass defense, and you got Russell Wilson on your team, you got Mahomes, are you not going to throw the ball? No. You find a way to beat it. I don't care if their run defense was first. Miles Sanders broke off for a 75-yard touchdown. I mean, it's unbelievable, man. Why do we continue to get away from the run? That is our identity. This man, Miles Sanders, back in his own hometown. Miles Sanders is from Pittsburgh. You knew he wanted to come into this game balling out. And 11 carries for 80 yards. He had a 74-yard touchdown early in this game. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like I said, Carson Wentz got better as this game went on. Carson Wentz put together some nice drives. Doug started to put a little bit of creativity in there, threw some trick plays in. But we just didn't execute. We just didn't execute, and we weren't good enough. And Jim Schwartz should absolutely get a lot of blame. This was one of those classic Jim Schwartz games that we've seen the last couple of years, where the guy, it just looks like he's flat-footed on a sideline, like he doesn't know what he's doing in the biggest situations. Many third downs. I want to see what the Steelers finish with on third down. 11 for 15 for the Steelers and 10 for 14 for the Eagles. Literally, every third down seemed like it was going to convert for the Steelers. Every third down. Big Ben finished this game 27 for 34 with 239 yards. But let me tell you, man, Big Ben was literally dink and dunking the whole game. It was literally like 3-yard completion, 5-yard completion, 6-yard completion. Carson Wentz had more passing yards than Big Ben and 7 less completions. They literally just got the ball out, and we could not accumulate any pressure. And we knew this game was going to come down to the trenches, and Pittsburgh's D-line just completely outclassed ours. That's what happened. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable, man. There's a lot of people I'm disappointed with today. I thought Darius Slay would show up better. Every guy's going to have a bad game here and there, but this was not the game to have one. I mean, Chase Claypool, again, I'll say it, 4 total touchdowns for Chase Claypool. Are you kidding me? And you don't do anything to switch it up. You put Jalen Mills on him, and then you put Crayvon LeBlanc, and in the biggest play of the game, on a 3rd and 8, you put Nathan Gerry on him. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Wow. I mean, the Eagles' offense finally accumulates points, puts up almost 30, and we give up almost 40. Crazy, man. Let's get to some of these comments. I'm going to try to get to all these comments, give some of my thoughts. This is just my reaction. Again, I am pretty tired today. Been up since early. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. The Eagles finished this game with 94 rushing yards total. And at halftime, how many? I think we had 80 or 90 yards at halftime. I really do. $85 yards at halftime in terms of rushing. And we finished the game with 94 rushing yards. We ran the ball for 9 yards in the second half. 9 yards. How does that happen? Literally, someone is having a lapse on the sideline or something. Like, is it just not clicking that you can't run the ball? I don't get it. Wow. Shout out to BLSG. I think he renewed his membership. Shout out to my guy, BLSG, Fire Take Legend. Appreciate that, my guy. Nick Stevens says, I'm so pissed off. Oh, my gosh, man. Embarrassing, bro. The Steelers are a better team, but the momentum was in the Eagles' favor. It was in our favor. To be honest, I was more impressed than upset, but still upset. All the blame goes on Nathan Gerry. We got stumped. A rookie had 4 touchdowns on us. Man. Travis Fulgham, 10 catches, 152 yards. The biggest bright spot of the day. The dude was absolutely out of his mind. He was out of his mind. It's okay because they were a good team. Yeah, but look, at the same time, this is the chance we had to capitalize. The Eagles had this game won. All they had to do was score the ball again. All Jake Gelly has to do is hit a field goal and we make another stop. The Steelers were almost dead in their rights, man. Like, the Eagles continually built back momentum, and as the drives went on, we got more creative, and they couldn't stop us. Wentz was on the beam. Terrible. Terrible, man. Superhero says we had 2 chances with the 3rd, 4th, and 5. We should have ran the ball on 3rd to get more yards. Then it would have been a better conversion of 4th and short. I agree. On 3rd and 5, Carson Wentz, not only does he miss Miles Sanders, but he telegraphs his passes all the way. He always does that. Wentz continually stares down his receiver, and I'm tired of seeing that. He stares it down. Travis Fulgham, I know the guy's like his best friend now. Travis Fulgham caught everything today. The dude was sensational. Not only do his catching ability strike me, but it's his separation, the ability of Travis Fulgham to get open the way he does. I mean, I just love his style and technique. He's going to be our number 1 going forward. Crazy. 2 weeks or last week, in 2 weeks, he goes from catching his first pass in the NFL to becoming probably a team's number 1 wide receiver. Insane. But I agree, Superhero. I agree. 3rd and 5, Wentz telegraphs his pass so we don't get any yardage. And then it's 4th and 5, and we go for the field goal. If we would have ran it there, if we would have picked up 3 or 4 yards, yeah, I probably would have said, let's go for it too. I'm not mad at the decision, but I do not like the 3rd down call. 4th and 5 is convertible. You go with a 57-yard field goal. It was makeable. It was makeable for Jake Elliott, what he's shown. And he had enough on it. He just hit it right. It was too far to the right. Should have drafted Justin Jefferson. We never run it, so it's on Doug. Defense doesn't stop, so it's on Schwartz. Yeah. I just don't understand how you give Miles Sanders 11 carries in this game. And look, I said this last week, but nobody wanted to talk about it because the Philadelphia Eagles won, and it was a great win and got us in the first and all that in the third. But I told you, every week, Miles Sanders' carries has dropped. But the guy is sensational. All we talked about was how Miles Sanders is going to be our lightning and how he's going to open things up for our offense and especially allow our speed to get open. Well, we don't run the ball. Doug Peterson is too pass happy. And when you get too pass happy, when you get too predictable, when your defense can't stop a thing, and our defense played well the last couple of weeks, but today they were just atrocious. And then the injuries start to pile up, and you're a banged up football team, and you're playing a team that's better than you. Well, you can't make these mistakes. Can't make these mistakes. Carson Wentz still making some bad throws. Guys, I mean, D-Jax didn't even play today. Alshon didn't play. Zach Ertz, I don't know if Zach Ertz, like I said, if he's just given up on this team. I don't know if he's hurt or if he's trying to make a statement for a contract, but he's not good this year. He's just not good. I mean, the one way to come out and show that you deserve more money is to come out and ball, but he's not doing anything, man. Terrible. Sparks, why the heck did he leave a linebacker on the dude? He was torching us. That's what I don't get. It seems on the biggest play of the game, or when you have a 3rd and 10, a 3rd and 12, Jim Schwartz always finds a way for his defense to fail. I mean, they literally line Claypool up in the slot, and I'm thinking to myself, come on, Schwartz can't be this bad. You got to move someone like a Nickel Roby-Coleman or a Cravon onto Claypool, or at least double team the guy. Double team him. Double team the guy. Double team him. I mean, the guy had 4 touchdowns. That the first couple touchdowns and a couple other plays as well. The Steelers, by the way, had us completely off balance with the end arounds and the reverses. I mean, our guys, when we see a reverse, our linebacker core is so bad, they just instantly get just embarrassed. And then Claypool goes and catches 3 touchdowns on top of that. We couldn't even put together any solid drives until the 3rd and 4th quarter. And we finally put together a couple drives. And then as soon as Elliott missed that field goal, things just went downhill. Again, this was not a game I would say is a guarantee to win. I picked us to win this game just because I felt like everybody once again was overshadowing us and knowing who is coming into town next week. All right? It's not going to be pretty. All right. If you want a foreshadow, here's your foreshadow. I'm not picking us to win next week. All right. Because we're not going to beat the Ravens. That's why I thought we could come out, sneak one out here, and the Steelers gave us the opportunity. They gave us the opportunity. Couple bad throws, couple drops, right? They let us back into it. A couple bad penalties. That's the one thing I also want to mention. Why in this week were the Eagles 5 times as undisciplined as they were the last 2 weeks? Why? I would love to know how many penalties we finished this game with. 9 penalties for 84 yards. We had great games the last couple weeks, and we were so undisciplined. But that's what happens when your talent gets beat by better talent. You start holding guys on a long ball. You start making false starts. You start trying to get ahead of yourself but you're not doing the right things. I mean, it's just week in, week out. This team, different aspects of this team just look different. It's ridiculous. Got out possession by almost 10 minutes. Steelers had the ball 10 more minutes than the Eagles did. You know why? It's because we don't run the damn ball. We get off the field too fast. Too fast. And there's just certain situations that are like a recurring theme that I keep seeing where we just don't manage the clock right. Crazy. Biggest problem with Jim Schwartz's defense is that he didn't double team Claypool, just pisses me off. How do you not double team him? But then again, did we expect that he didn't double team George Kittle last week? It's ridiculous. Hail to the football team. Your team is terrible. They suck too. We all stink. But the Washington football team, not only is your quarterback out now, your next quarterback got injured, and now Alex Smith is back. They stink too. Cowboys are losing. There's really nothing for me to be upset about. Defense is bad outside of Slay in the front seven. We lack the talent to be a good team. We're basically a car with two tires that won't do. Yeah, but we need that ignition. What about Jim Schwartz? What about Doug? How about doing something, man? I mean, Jim Schwartz, like, I've never seen anything like it. Last week, how can your defense look that different from one week to the next and do that consistently? How? I mean, this was the worst performance by this defense, and it wasn't even close. We couldn't stay on, guys. We're playing a lot of soft coverage. Didn't we see last week when we showed a lot of aggression that it works? I mean, Jalen Mills. All right, look, long before this, I do not like Jalen Mills. I love his aggression. I love his personality, but the guy stinks. He's not an NFL corner. And today just brought back bad memories of the last 5 years. I mean, one play, they throw an out route or a flat. I think it was a flat. And Jalen Mills is looking the complete opposite way. This guy's literally has his back turned to the one receiver. Like, what? I mean, come on now. I saw a couple times where Schwartz actually did send the house. He sent 7, he sent 8. But how do we not get to Big Ben? I mean, is the Steelers' O-line that great that our D-line can't penetrate them? I don't know, man. Ridiculous. Eric Ebron literally, fumbles the ball late in the game. And then he almost fumbles it again. I mean, there was just opportunity for this team to capitalize, and we didn't do it. And I thought we were past that point where we now could late in the game. But I guess not. What's up, RB? I'm happy with the Steelers dub. Nice comeback to the Claypool was amazing. Also, refs were horrible. And the refs stink. These teams are still undisciplined. Oh, man. I mean, this Claypool thing's going to bother me all week. Because, yeah, he's a stud. All right, he's a rookie. But 4 touchdowns. And you don't do anything to adapt. But the one thing you do is put Nathan Gerry on him with the biggest play of the game on the line. 3rd and 8. You need 1 stop. You need to hold him to 3. And Nathan Gerry, I mean, it's not even like Claypool hit him with a double move. He took 1 step to the left. And Gerry was almost on the ground. I mean, wow. That's just sad. It's just sad. We need to be cheering for the Giants right now. Cowboys down 14-3. Doesn't even matter, though, because this division is just terrible, man. This division is terrible. So what if a team wins this division with 5 games, with 6 games? Look, sure, we're gonna hope to win this division just for the bragging rights of it, right? Like, yeah, we won the NFC least. But really, what does it matter? All these teams stink. Crazy. If we're still If we're on the top of the division after this week, that's insane. Really. People laughing at Dallas when we're 1-3-1. Honestly, Demon Badger, we all deserve to be laughed at. I'm still going to laugh at Dallas. I'm still going to laugh at the Giants. I'm still going to laugh at Washington. And I'm going to laugh at the Eagles. Because we stink. Every team in this division is a joke. I mean, I don't know, man. I saw a little bit of grit and toughness from this team, at least on the offensive side. I saw us start to put things together and get down the field, but on defense, it just wasn't there. And it's like, yeah, I can be completely, angry with the defense. But next week, they might come out and once again play solid, and the offense might be nowhere to be found. That's the one thing, the one biggest takeaway, is that this team has not put everything together at once. They've not clicked in all three areas, offense, defense, and special teams, for a 4-quarter game. And that's what stands out to me, honestly. When can we get complimentary football? It doesn't seem like we will. It does not seem like we will. I don't get it. What up, RB? I thought Eagles offense played well. Schwartz had a rough day, but things are looking up. I mean, if Jim Schwartz can coach this bad and our defense can play this bad and for us to be in this game this late, yeah, maybe you're right. That's a good way to look at it. The fact that we were in this game and we're a field goal away from taking the lead with 3.5 minutes to go. You can't miss that field goal. Jake Elliott has been kind of suspect, honestly, since 2017. 2017, he was like a god. And then ever since then, there's just certain plays or just certain situations where Jake Elliott just misses. Like, there are things that you shouldn't miss. Now, today was a tough field goal. I get it. But you just can't miss that. You got to seal the game. Why are Eagles fans confused by the fact that we haven't played anybody until today? We played a good team and lost. That's pretty much it. Howie is a fraud. That's where we need to put our anger. Look, I agree in that Howie Roseman has not done a good enough job. I mean, there's draft picks. Like, where are they at? Even John Hightower, who's gotten a lot of snaps. Like I said, is the guy just not ready? Is he just not big enough for the moment? I mean, how does John Hightower not even attempt to catch the ball the right way? I mean, it was a touchdown. He misses a couple other ones, doesn't get out of bounds, right? J.J. Arcega-Whiteside gets the one nice catch. J.J. had a nice catch, but it didn't mean anything. Travis Fulgham, a guy who got his first NFL reception last week, is going for 10 catches and 150 yards. That was at one point in this game, I think in the third quarter, he had more than half of Carson Wentz's receptions. And that's another great point. Carson Wentz's receptions and his interceptions. Interceptions, man. Every game that Carson has thrown 2 interceptions, we either lost or tied. The Eagles lost the turnover battle today. All right, we got the one fumble out of the Steelers. But overall, the Eagles did not accumulate enough pressure and did not do it enough to force turnovers. And we lost the turnover battle. The one game where we won the turnover battle significantly, we won the game. That should tell you a lot. I just didn't. Carson Wentz missed some throws. He was under a little bit more pressure than we have seen. But the one thing for me with Carson is don't get back to this thing where you don't get rid of the ball. For a couple weeks now, you were actually getting rid of it. I mean, I didn't even see Carson roam outside the pocket as much as I saw the last couple weeks. Did Carson run the ball? I think he ran it once. 4 times. 4 carries for 11 yards for Carson Wentz. I mean, the guy's been averaging 40 yards rushing the ball. And I get the Steelers have a good rush defense. But still, you got to get Carson outside the pocket. You got to allow him, whether it's on bootlegs, play action, or whatever, to operate outside the pocket. That's where he's at his best. I don't know why, but the dude can't throw from the pocket. And we don't do any of that. We don't do any of that. And Carson Wentz sits in the pocket, holds on to the ball too long, thinks too hard about it, and takes pressure. And when you're not running the ball with Miles Sanders, well, you're kind of doomed at that point. My Steelers D needs to step up. This is one of the worst performances I've seen, but our offense was good. Ertz obviously quit on the team. Going to be nearly 70 mil in debt. You can't make this BS up. We got a lot of work to do, man. Some of these guys that are just sitting on our roster, taking up cap space, taking up, just space in general, like D Jackson, Alshon, we got to make some decisions. I saw Quez Watkins almost, haul one in today. He's finally back, but what is he going to bring to us? I want to see more of that. Quez Watkins, he went for that one. I think it was like a 30-yard pass, and they got a pass interference. There were a lot of calls in this game. I want to see more Quez Watkins. I need to see John Hightower get his mechanics down. And Travis Fulgham, I mean, I've just been praising him for this entire stream. I mean, the guy's ridiculous. He almost resembles the way that Alshon goes up and catches the ball, but Travis is even able to run with the ball after. I mean, a couple of these plays, just his eye and just his recognition, his timing, his recognition, just his, honestly, his technique as a receiver is beautiful to watch, and he's able to create separation. I love the guy. I really do. I'm sold on Travis Fulgham. Joshua, what's going on? The run designs are trash, though. I agree. I completely agree, G. I completely agree. It's like, we finally run the ball, and it's a halfback draw with Miles Sanders, or it's a big situation. It's inside the red zone, or even better yet, inside the 5 or inside the 10, and it's a sweep to Miles Sanders, and we just get absolutely berated. Like, it's not working. It's not working. Like I said, Slay got beat a couple times. Mills got beat. Our entire defense was just a bad game. I thought we would be able to accumulate more pressure. I thought we would have to, because Big Ben, to me, isn't that mobile anymore. But he just sat inside the pocket. He almost looked like it looked like they drew up a Brady game plan for Big Ben. I mean, this guy had like 25 completions for like 150 yards at halftime. He was just dinking and dunking the entire game. When we get Jalen Reagor and Goddard, our offense should be fire. I agree, but it depends on the play calling, because guys seem to get in their element and then they get fizzled out. Our offense will be nothing until Doug Peterson balances out the runs and the passes. Look, even last week I said, the Philadelphia Eagles, even though the numbers were the same, a lot of those rushes last week were Carson Wentz taking the ball on his own. But Doug Peterson just loves to throw the ball. He really does. And if you ever get behind or in the second half of a game, you're just going to end up throwing it. And it gets too predictable. It gets way too predictable. My 3 keys of the game were to put pressure on Big Ben, which we really did not do. Put together a complete game plan, which we did not do. And we haven't done all year. And situational football. And we did not step up in the big situations. And we weren't smart about it either. And that's not good. Oh man, I'm gonna read some more of these comments. Again, it's been a long day, so let's just read some of these comments. And this is just my post game reaction. I'll obviously have my more thoughts out tomorrow once I take a look at it. But I mean, I just felt like the opportunity was there to strike on this game, and we didn't. And it's not terribly bad. It's not over, but the Eagles got to win games like this, especially if in a playoff scenario. We didn't execute the right game plan and no adjustments. Cowboys losing. Whoever wins this division is going to end up with 7 wins. I mean, that might even be a stretch. Who puts in a linebacker on a wide receiver who's having a great game? Not even a great game, a sensational game. I mean, Claypool was unstoppable. This guy was catching everything. He literally threw Craig James. Craig James comes off IR. He comes into this game for Darius Slay, and he literally gets thrown to the side. Now, it was a pass interference, a little bit of iffy call. But, man, I mean, Claypool was throwing us to the side like little kids on a playground. And, again, I still can't believe that you put Nathan Gerry on him with the game on the line. And he gets beat that bad. I mean, that is just inexcusable. RB, you expect the team starting Jalen Mills at corner to win against a 3-0 team. Look, I don't like Jalen Mills. I don't think he's a good corner. Now, yeah, he was playing decent at safety, but they should not have brought him back. We need to prepare ourselves against Baltimore. What are we going to be prepared for, though, Reaper? Really? I don't have a lot of high hopes going into next week. That's why I thought we could capitalize on this one. This would have been a huge win. This would have been a defining win. If the Eagles would have came back from a 17-point deficit and finished this game off, that would have showed this, not only this division, but this league, that the Eagles are here. But we couldn't do it. And quite frankly, the only thing holding us on right now is this terrible division in which every team is terrible. Every team stinks. Shout out to all 50 up in the chat. Hit the like button if you're just coming in. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you're instantly notified anytime I upload or go live. Look, man, the Eagles got beat by a better team. Thought we could have, hit the opportunity while we had it. And it was there for the taking. But we just didn't do it. We just did not do it. Probably get up off here in about 20 minutes. I'm just going to answer comments for the rest, answer questions. I feel like I covered everything. Miles Sanders needed more carries, and that better be the first thing talked about when I go back and watch his post game, when I go back and watch the interviews, when I go back tomorrow and get ready for my day after video. The number one thing is that Miles Sanders cannot have 11 carries. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care this or that. A guy breaks off for a 74-yard touchdown early in the game, and you give the ball to you rush the ball for 85 yards in the first half, and in the second half, you have 9 rushing yards. On what? 3 carries? I mean, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And on the other side, there's just no other way to put it. Our defense was trash today. Every single guy did not step up and do their job. Every single guy. Travis Fulgham had 5 catches and 67 yards at halftime. Finishes this game with 10 catches for 152 yards and a touchdown. A practice squad guy to a star for this team. And we don't even win the game. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Couple nice plays here and there. Carson Wentz, a couple escapes, but overall needs to be more mobile. And on the other side, we got to bring pressure. Our D-line is what this team is predicated on. They must get to the quarterback, and they did not do that today. And they made it too easy for Big Ben. Our corners were not good enough. Our secondary stinks as a whole. Especially today. They've been all right, but against a big test right here, they kind of folded. And again, my biggest takeaway from this game is that we have not put together an entire game. We've not put together an entire game all year. And when you got opportunities like the one you had today, you got to strike on it. That's how I feel. Philly sports these days. Never expected the Eagles to score 30-plus. So strong in that effort. So strong effort in that regard. But 4 touchdowns from one player is pathetic. A rookie, by the way. Second time this year, Eagles D was roasted for 3 touchdowns by one player. Crazy. I rebooted my membership. Shout out to BLSG. Can't wait for the Zoom call. You already know, my guy. Shout out to all the channel members, by the way. Anyone up in the house, man. Shout out to the channel members. We got 60 up in the chat. If you guys could, hit that like button for me and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Man. We got 37 likes, man. I give you my vodka, but I drank it all watching the Jags. I can't even imagine. Can it get any worse? This team just has to be better, man. They got to be better. I need to see more leadership. I didn't see enough of that today. And I can't be terribly mad because the Steelers are a better team. But again, I'm just a guy about opportunity. I feel that every single week it is hard to win in the NFL. It is a hard league to win in. And I just feel like if we were on the other side of the equation and the Eagles had a 17-point lead and gave it up, there's a lot of teams out there that would not fail to execute on that opportunity. That's how I feel. Jalen Mills, trash, fire Doug and Jim. Instead of going for a kick, just go for the first down. It was 4th and 5. Look, here's, again, I'll go back and look at this more and think about it more. Just my instant thoughts, though, I'm not terribly mad at going for a field goal. Look, we were down 11. Yeah, we were down 11, and we trimmed it to 9 by going for a 2-point conversion. That ended up getting us down by 2 points where we went for this field goal to go up by 1. I'll take my chances on a 57-yarder, not a 65-yarder, a 57-yarder with Jake Elliott, who's been known to kick long field goals and hit them successfully. I'm perfectly fine living with Jake Elliott with 3.5 minutes to go. If it was 4th and inches, yeah, I might go for a quarterback sneak. But a 57-yarder, man, you just got to hit that. And he didn't. He just didn't hit it. And then when we have the chance, again, I'm not going to keep repeating it, but to hold them to a 3rd down stop and give up 3, and we get the ball back for one more chance, and Nathan Gerry gets just embarrassed. Can I get a wrench? Oh, and by the way, Jim Schwartz, Nathan Gerry, and Mills should be released immediately. I really don't like any of them, to be honest. I don't know how much longer I can deal with Howie. Look, these picks that Howie picks up, they're just not working out. They're not working out. I'm sorry. I mean, Dallas Goedert was a good pick. He's hurt right now, though. Miles Sanders, we don't have the guy who will feed him the ball. Look, a lot of people will completely come at the defense today, and they absolutely should. That was obviously the worst part of this game. But I'm sorry, I'm not letting Doug off the hook, man. No more. Again, like I said earlier, one of my big statements, Doug Peterson should give up his play calling duties. They should be taking away from Doug Peterson. Because, again, Sanders keeps going down every game in the amount of carries. And we got to run the ball. That's how you open up these big plays. That's how you open up these drives. And I just can't take it. I can't take it. Spark says, is it safe to say Travis Fulgham might be elite? I think he is. I'm sold on Travis Fulgham. He's that guy. He's that guy. Dang, a lot of comments coming in here. We're going to get to a lot of these. Don't worry. Shout out to Philly Pop Pop, a new channel member, by the way. Shout out to my guy. Says, what's up, RB? Not a good effort today with the exception of Travis Fulgham, putrid execution, and even worse, communication. Absolutely agree. Travis Fulgham is the bright spot today. That is one guy I can be excited about because I don't think it's a fluke. I think Travis Fulgham is for real. But you're absolutely right. The communication, the leadership, and the execution. What do I always say? In the big time moments on a 3rd and long, or the Eagles need a 3rd and short, and we just didn't execute on those plays. Yeah, we went 10 for 14 on 3rd down, but on a 3rd and 5, Wentz misses Miles Sanders open, telegraphs it to Travis Fulgham, and it's an incomplete, and then we miss a field goal. You know what I mean? We just did not capitalize on the big opportunities. Absolutely agree with you. Appreciate the super chat. Philly Pop Pop. Shout out to all the channel members as well. Let's see. And by the way, guys, I'm very tired today. It's been a long day. Let me just say that. It's been a long day. So I'm going to try to read some more of these comments for about 10, 15 more minutes. And then we're going to get up off here because, man. Let's see. I'm so sick of injuries. Yeah. I can't take injuries. I mean, at this point, it's almost like I expect 3 or 4 guys to go down every week. Honestly. It's like almost anticipated at this point. And I don't understand. I mean, Fletch went down for a little bit. Lane goes off. Lane, they should sit Lane for 5 weeks, honestly. Get him right. He's not right. JP still out. All the other guys still out. Who else? Duke Riley went down. Slay went down in the biggest couple drives that we needed him. And Craig James, I can't be mad at Craig James, right? I can't be mad at Jack Driscoll for giving up a false start when he comes in. I mean, the guy came in cold. But, man, the injuries just keep piling up on his team. I don't think it's going to stop. Those 11 carries turned out to be 2 touchdowns. That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. If I'm Doug Peterson and first off, like I said earlier, he didn't do a good enough job of getting Wentz into transition. Do I need to remind you all that Wentz had 5 yards in the first quarter, I believe? And I think we had -3 passing yards in the first quarter. We had -3 passing yards in the first quarter. Had 2, 3 and outs? Didn't do a good enough job of getting Wentz in transition, right? And none of these short intermediate throws. No, everything is long. Everything is long. And the only guy we could connect with is Travis Fulgham. And then Sanders runs for 74 yards. And you just keep going away from him. Like I said, the dude was obviously, wanting to ball out in his hometown. That's just what you do when you go back to your place where you live. It's your first time. Yeah, you want to ball out. But he didn't give Sanders that opportunity. And he's not giving him that opportunity. And I said it last week. Everybody was blinded because of 28 carries and 28 throws. No. Carson Wentz ran the ball 9 times on his own. But they were designed passes. Terrible. This Eagles team doesn't have an O-line or a secondary. I think we're really fooling ourselves that we truly believe a team starting Jalen Mills at corner is going to do anything of note. I agree. I mean, our team stinks. This entire division is just beat up and bad. Just bad. Zach Ertz is washed. Time to move on from Ertz, Deshaun, and Alshon. I agree. I think this is the offseason where we go in a different direction. And this is kind of our rebuild type year. We thought it was going to be this year, but it's going to end up being this year. Especially if we don't make the playoffs and we finish bad. Yeah, I just see us getting rid of a lot of these vets and just going with these young guys. If they can step up, if Travis Fulgham and whoever else can step up, I mean, what's the point of keeping Alshon for $10 million? What's the point of keeping Deshaun Jackson if he's not on the field? Crazy. Even Greg Ward. What happened to Greg Ward? I mean, how many touches did he have? 4? Come on, man. Greg Ward's a guy you can throw in the slot and get a nice 4 or 5 on first down, but I didn't see any of that. And don't get me wrong, the Steelers were getting pressure. Our O-line didn't play as good, but I didn't expect them to against this D-line. They didn't play terrible, though. But we just did not do good enough. We just did not do good enough, and I didn't think the play design was there. Fire Doug, he sucks. You're right, Zach Ertz didn't even play good. I can't believe I just said that Zach Ertz played horrible. Zach Ertz has played horrible the entire year, Sonic. He's played terrible. And I don't understand why Zach Ertz is playing this bad. I've never seen Zach Ertz like this. Look, I'm ready to go out on a limb and say that Zach Ertz is dealing with a major injury because it would just make sense given the fact that everybody else is injured. But Zach Ertz, I mean, there's something wrong with him. Even though on that one play with the interception, he gave up. Is he really being this petty about the contract situation? Look, Dallas there's no better timing if Dallas Goedert, if you're kind of not your rival, but you know, your co-partner here who's competing with you. If he's down, I mean, you got to step up, Ertz. I'm not even seeing the leadership from Zach Ertz. Like his body language, everything is just off. It's just off. I don't know what's wrong with Zach Ertz, but it's not good. We should start Fulgham, D-Jax, and Ward. Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. If D-Jax can stay on the field. Ertz is probably both giving up and statement on contract. He's trash. And I really don't think Ertz is trash. I either think he's injured or just trying to make a statement that you don't do that with your franchise piece. But hey, at the end of the day, man, you want your money, Zach? Well, guess what? You might have just lost a big chunk of money. The Eagles also just substantially lost value for you unless somehow you turn it around here and pick it up. A team's not going to take a 30-year-old Zach Ertz playing like this and give him a big contract. So I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like a lose-lose. Why doesn't Carson play like he used to and go against Doug and run the ball more? They might get way better results. I don't know, Teal City. I would love to know that. I really would. The last couple weeks, I mean, it seemed like Carson was calling off some plays, some audibles at the line of scrimmage, and he was doing his thing with his feet. He was moving with his feet. But that's like one of the biggest things. Like when something is working, why do we go away from it? Why was Carson Wentz so dedicated on staying in the pocket today and not throwing the ball away? I don't get it, man. If something doesn't work, why do you revert back to it? Why? Peters, Jeffrey, Jackson, J-Jaw, Diller, Wentz, Doug, Jim, Press, they all got to go. Honestly, this could be a year of clearing house, to be honest. Oh, man. Travis Fulgham will be a Pro Bowler one day. I'm telling you guys, from what I've seen with sports, like you can tell when a guy is just lucky, right, or is just unknown. But then you can also tell when a guy has it. And to me, if Travis Fulgham stays healthy, to me, he just really looks like he has that it factor. Like he looks like a solid receiver. And I don't know why he went under the table with everything. But here he is, 2 weeks in, looking like a stud. Made a game-winning catch and had a 150-yard game. And it's sad it had to go to waste. It really is. All the fans saying fire after every week is reactionary, getting tiresome. Steelers are a great team. The outcome should have been expected. We need more talent. I agree with that we do need more talent. All I'm saying is you're right. The Steelers are a better team, but when you have an opportunity and you have all the momentum in a game, you got to put your foot on the pedal and execute. And we didn't do that anytime this game. Fire Howie isn't reactionary. Dallas going to drop 50 on the Eagles. Can Carson keep up? It's Dallas needs to worry about getting 50 put up on them. This entire division is bad in some way or another. None of them can put together a full game plan. But again, what I've been saying is that the Eagles are going to look back at other games now, like the Washington game week 1. Should we really have given up 27 unanswered to a guy who is now a third-string demoted quarterback who didn't even show up to his facility today? Should we have done that? Should we have tied with a team that had Joe Burrow and nothing else around him? No. Those are the games that you lose that you're now going to look back on and wish you could have them back. Because earlier in the season, we said that we would win the first 3, and then we could be okay with losing 2 or winning 1 out of 2. But now it's life or die every week. Oh, man. Derek Larger, what's going on, my guy? Shout out to Derek, man. It says Carson had several costly mistakes and turnovers. Yeah, I just think Carson, it's just weird. Like his mechanics are off in the pocket. He's like throwing off his back foot, not getting a lot of power. His arm angle just doesn't look right sometimes. I don't know, man. Carson Wentz has not been good enough though, as a whole product, Howie definitely has to go. Look, man, Howie Roseman is getting close. Howie Roseman is kind of getting close, to be honest. I mean, when you look at the last 4 years, I think we've had, like 30 draft picks around there? Something like that over the last 4 years. And we literally have like, what, 2 starters? 3 starters maybe? And that's it. That's it. We need a leader. We need discipline, accountability. But no, I haven't even watched the post game. And you know what they'll say when they come out? Oh, I got to do better. I got to do a better job. No, I don't want to hear that over and over. Like, that's not what I'm here to hear for. I'm here to know how you're going to do that. I don't know. I'm just not feeling the leadership at this point. Kamal Evans with a hot take says, we will beat the Ravens. I guarantee it. Crazy. Oh, man. Duh, linebackers don't matter. Exactly, Demon. Exactly. This team, well, you know what? I got to be honest with you. You want to build a quarterback factory, Howie? Well, you put Jalen Hurts at linebacker, all right? Do something. Because this is Howie's fault for not going out and getting any linebackers. And even the guys that he drafted have not played any snaps, any meaningful snaps. I mean, we got Alex Singleton in there. The guy who, because he got a pick six, he's in there. Duke Riley, Nathan Gerry? Are you kidding me, man? Every team, honestly, almost every team that I can think of off the top of my head has a game-changing linebacker, or at least a guy who can cover the field and do a lot of things. Now, you know, a guy like Will Parks comes back, maybe we bring him up in the box. Maybe he can do something, but we don't have that big, dominant presence that can be all over the field. Honestly, we don't. We don't have a TJ Watt. We don't have a Devin Bush. We don't have a guy like that. And it's been years and years, and I don't understand why this team won't address the linebacker position. I don't get it. Tim Johnson says, time to start seeing changes within the organization. What kind of changes? What kind of changes? Because a couple more weeks we keep this up, we're going to need it. We are going to need it. But hey, we'll be on here for 5 more minutes. Shout out to all 65 in the chat. If you guys could, please hit that like button for me. Helps push this content out. We got 40 likes up in here. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Shout out to everyone up in here. Yeah, let's talk. Let's answer some more questions because I feel like I covered the whole thing. Just not well enough put together today. We need Fulgham to have another game like this next week. We need him to have a game like this every week. Every single week. We need Djax. We need a guy that can stretch the field. I agree. And we need to take some more shots. And Carson Wentz just can't seem to hit a shot downfield. And the one opportunity we had, John Hightower doesn't know how to catch the ball the right way. We need Bobby Boucher. Exactly. We play superior talent to every team we have played. That's why we look out of sorts. Tomlin's a great coach with a great team. We have mediocre staff with mediocre talent. Look, to some extent, I agree with that. I really agree with that. But at the same time, the most talented team doesn't always win. That's all I'm saying. Mike Tomlin looked great today at times, but at other times, he allowed his team to give up a lead. He looked out of his element at times too. But the difference is that the Eagles didn't take advantage of it. They didn't take advantage. Pats on bye. Cam will return. The Pats stink. Pats stink. Jalen Mills equals Nnamdi Asomugha. Don't even bring up that name, George. Brings up bad memories. I'm telling you, today was literally like it felt like I was like 4 years back. It felt like I was 4 years back just watching Jalen Mills get torched every single Sunday. Not good enough, man. Eric Ebron is awful. He's terrible. Let me get through some of these comments. I didn't even notice I was far behind like this. Have we even used a linebacker we picked up from Colorado? No, a third-round pick, and we've not used them. Fulgham was super good this week. He was really good. He showed me a lot of potential, and he might be the future. Honestly, he's probably our number one now. Honestly, Fulgham jersey right now. Imagine that. Fulgham is a legit stud. So is Ward. Fulgham, Ward, Rager, Goddard, Sanders is going to be a good future for us. I agree. We need to step up 100% in week 6. Is Jim Schwartz a man, blitz, or zone defensive coordinator? I feel like Jim Schwartz has different presences at different times, but to me, he ends up kind of usually reverting to zone defense. I think he has a mixture of things, but when Jim Schwartz starts to get beat early in games, or when he's down certain personnel, he reverts to zone defense. He reverts to sticks defense, to soft coverage. He doesn't play a lot of press unless it's working. Now, when Darius Slay's all up on his man, well, he's able to do that successfully. That's the one thing I don't like about Jim Schwartz. He allows his personnel, and maybe this isn't always a bad thing, but every single game, his personnel and the timing of the game dictates whether he's going to play zone. But I just think, even if you have lesser talent, it's good to be aggressive. That's what I like out of a defensive coordinator. I like being aggressive. Sometimes you get burned for it, but a lot of times it helps. But Jim Schwartz, he just doesn't blitz enough. And he has the last couple of weeks. And today he did a few times, but they weren't successful. And then he stopped going to it, which I don't like. Carson's mental blind spot is not going away. It's in his pedigree DNA. He's on track for 16 TDs and 25 interceptions. That is sad. That is sad, man. Oh, man. Julian with a great comment says, DeAndre Hopkins had an insane touchdown today, but I'm glad we have Jalen Hurts. Right. A second-round pick. Yeah, Jalen Hurts had an 18-yard completion. Congratulations. Didn't help us win the game. Philly Insider Podcast, what's going on? What's up, RB? This one hurts. This loss is on Schwartz, Gerry, Mills, and Elliott for me. I agree. I mean, they're all right up there, man. The run concepts were good, but Driscoll and Pryor are single-handedly ruining this run game. Peterson had to go away from the run. I don't think he had to go away like he did. I just think he always does it. Schwartz didn't disguise his looks at all. Ben knew what was coming every step. Exactly. He's too smart. He's too experienced for that. And, we sent pressure at different times, but it wasn't enough and it wasn't good enough. Cowboy Spy here. Don't worry. You'll still win the division at 7-9. My Cowboys have mailed the season in. Hey, respect James Williams. I respect that. Who knows? I think a team could win its division with 6 games, to be honest. But that one guy, I forget his name, that made that comment a couple days ago about can't go 100%. I mean, that was ridiculous. That's crazy. Crazy. If we went forward on 4th, we would be complaining about us not going for the field goal. Exactly. And I think it was smarter to go for the field goal there. I really do. Moving forward after this year, we need to reward the right players with money. Exactly. We're going to have to do a lot of navigation around the books, honestly. A lot. What up, RB? Why is Nate Gerry still getting playing time? Look, I wish I could tell you. Maybe because we just simply don't have another guy. But Nate Gerry is bad. I mean, I've never seen something like it. Why hasn't Djax and Alshon been playing? They're hurt. They're injured. Djax just seems to go down every single time. And I mean, Alshon's been out since last year, and his body's just breaking down. He's getting too old. Eagles suck. Your Cowboys suck. They stink. We all stink. I'd rather lose the rest of this year and get draft picks and trades. This is going to be a weird year anyway. Who knows if the league's even going to be operating in a couple weeks? Man. I understand Ertz got bumped on the play, but you don't just give up on a play like that, right? I absolutely agree with you. I thought that showed a lack of heart, and his leadership has not been there. In addition to his production, it's just not been there. And it's pissing me off. Can we please say Wentz held onto the ball like it was his baby and not in a good way? Yes, exactly. Wentz is holding onto the ball again too much. This game, man, I mean, he just took a step back from the last 2 weeks. It wasn't the same Carson Wentz. And it's disappointing. The Fulgham grip. Next week is a new week. It's any given Sunday RB. Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm just trying to keep it real, man. It's going to be a tough game next week. It's going to be tough. Claypool gets no respect, had a better game than Fulgham. Claypool absolutely balled out on us. The way Steelers draft receivers and linebackers like no other team, it's crazy. I agree with that. I mean, I was looking at their guys from even first-round picks from the last 5 years earlier. It's ridiculous. Turn every wide receiver into a superstar. It's insane. I watched Sanders as a diehard Penn State fan. He's not anything special. Mike Gesicki is tight end from Dolphins. Hey, look. Miles Sanders, I think that Miles Sanders has a lot to prove, but I think we got to give him the opportunity to do so. I just don't think we do that enough. I mean, we were looking for him to take that next step up, but how? If we're going to give him 11 carries, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. Look, again, Doug Peterson's just got to be better. Lamar Jackson will definitely pick on Mills if he's playing corner. I really hope Mills is not just bad memories, like I said. And Jalen Mills is not a corner in this league. He was looking okay at safety because he doesn't usually have to cover guys one-on-one. But he's just not a good corner. He's not good. Defense is a problem. Wentz is not consistent, and Doug's game plan is trash. No running game, no tight ends. Yeah. Oh, man. What's going on, RB? Still heated over the loss to the Raiders. I'm in the same boat with you. Our defense didn't show up today, and Mahomes did too much. Hope all's good with you. Hey, man, we're here trying to get over a loss as well in a game that we had an opportunity. So Seahawks won the division in 6. RB, what's good, my guy? Yeah, this sucks. Another loss. I'm going to just get used to it. That's where the NFC least is right now. Hopefully we get a really good GM in here next, a football guy. I feel you, man. I feel you. This division is terrible. It's almost like, do we want to win the division at this point? To maybe get bounced in the first round, right? I mean, you never know what's going to happen in a playoff game. But I'm really like a team might win this division with 6 games. It's crazy. It's crazy. You guys are going 1-14-1. Yeah, don't even talk. I mean, the Cowboys stink too. Every team in the division stinks. It's just funny how Cowboys fans are popping out like Jack in the Box, and they were nowhere to be found last week. I mean, I had to put out an alert, man. I mean, they could not be found this entire week. It's crazy. Sanders is one of the best backs in the league. I think Sanders is a very versatile back who can be a 3-down back on a team, really. We just don't need him to do that. But again, guys like Boston Scott, why? I feel like Boston Scott hasn't gotten a fair share here. He doesn't get used at all. Corey Clement seems to be nothing, right? I mean, I don't know. But Miles Sanders definitely has to get more than 11 carries. I mean, like I said, he went from 20 to 18 to 16 to 11. It's just not going to work, Doug. It's not going to work. Rick Bennett, what's going on, man? Shout out to you. Says had to take a nap after that game. Not happy. I'm feeling you, man. I'm going to need a nap as well. Again, I'm running on little sleep here. And, I wanted us to take advantage of this game. I thought in some areas we did play well, like I said. We put together some good drives, and it's crazy. Our offense had our best offensive game of the year with 29 points. And then we give up 38. Like, if our defense had played even half of what they have been the last couple weeks in this year, we win this game by 10, 15 points. It's just like inconsistency. And again, we can't put together a full game plan. Jags got murdered. Their defense sucks. Passing attack was fine. It was all defense. We fought against the number one defense in the league, did exceedingly good. I still think we need to run the ball more. But that's just my opinion. Jim Schwartz play calling was awful. Yeah, and the personnel that he had in there was bad as well. Did that 49ers fan wear the jersey yet? Hey, I texted him. I'm going to wait for him to reply. So he's definitely going to wear it, though. Gary did awful. Mills sold multiple times. They both stink. Put up dang near 30 at home against arguably the best D in the league. Yeah, if you want to call it home, we were away, but I don't know. It's just like we put up that many points again, and our defense can't hold up. It's just no consistency. There's not a really fun to watch promising player on the Eagles. The reason I became fan was because of the prospects. There's not a lot of excitement in this kind of offense right now. I agree. Offensive game plan was fine. Steals won. Ertz did awful, but Wentz did overthrow him some plays. Yeah, Wentz is still throwing some balls off target. And again, he's holding on to the ball too long. Can't do that. There's not a promising player, Travis Fulgham, enough said. Yeah, Travis Fulgham is the most exciting guy I've seen in weeks, maybe a year. This guy looks electric out there. Like, now I'm actually convinced that Travis Fulgham can get 5 catches a game. But watch next week. Watch us not even go to him. That's what we seem to do with guys when it's working. And I don't get why. Your Eagles got messed up, man. Hey, don't talk too fast. This division stinks. We're still in first place at the moment, so relax. Rick Bennett, what's the deal between Wentz and Ertz? Are there any issues between the two? I don't know, but I just feel like something's wrong with Zach Ertz, whether he's hurt or whether he's just not giving it his all. There's something wrong with Zach Ertz. 1 catch for 6 yards. I've never seen him play this bad. It's disheartening at this point. Steelers are most overrated 4-0 team. I would say that if they beat the Cowboys. Game was lost with 3 minutes left. Wentz took a sack instead of throwing it away. 2nd and 13 instead of 2nd and 10. Wentz took a couple bad sacks. Yeah, he's got to throw it away. Jake Elliott has to hit a field goal. We got to make a stop on a 3rd and 8, and we're not good enough. Winless Giants might be the only winner out of the NFC East in Week 5. That'll keep the Eagles in first. Keep throwing to Fulgham and open up for Sanders. I agree. Fulgham comes out of nowhere and kills it. That's what seems to happen with these guys on the Eagles. They come from the practice squad. Nobody knows their name. This guy was a walk-on at Old Dominion and a 6th-round draft pick that was in 2 different locker rooms and never had an NFL catch. Got his first NFL catch last week. And now the guy is our best receiver. Crazy. The game was lost when Doug decided to pass on 3rd and 5. I agree. Terrible call. And again, Wentz is telegraphing the passes too much. They knew he was going to Travis Fulgham. Should have mixed it up. Where was this energy last week? This energy is here every week, win or lose. That's the difference between me and terrible Cowboys fans and the rest of them. I mean, you remember the Washington fans that were up in here in week 1? Where are they at? They haven't showed their face since week 1. And the Cowboys fans, they disappear when they lose. Where was your energy giving up 50 to the Browns? Come on now. I would have treated it like an all 4 down situation. That's a good point. I don't know if I still don't mind the 57-yard field goal, but on 3rd down, I would have at least tried to get 3 or 4 yards and make it a quarterback sneak type of situation. We usually get those. We do. You guys talk trash too. Hey, I always talk trash. That's a part of the rivalry. It is what it is. Fans, including me, get so happy when you figure out they're a future stud. I agree. You run the ball on 3rd down, get some yards, and it's an easy convertible 4th. We should have gone for it. Our practice team receivers are better than our first team receivers. I don't know why. Maybe it's the connection. Maybe it's just the kind of the desire to get a spot, right? I don't know. I want to see Fulgham playing more next week. He's our number 1 now. He really is, and it's crazy to say. It's ridiculous. The teams that the Steelers beat won a total of 2 games. Yeah. What? 1? Actually, no, I think. Yeah, 2 games. 2 games. You're right. I think they're 2-11. Or no. 2-14, I think. Or 2-13-1, something like that. Crazy. Travis was balling, mad respect, but Claypool has the most fancy points overall, made a fancy round. Claypool was ridiculous. And again, I mean, the kid's a baller, but you got to double team. You can't put Nathan Gerry on a 3rd and 8 on a game deciding play. Crazy. Eagles leave it all on the field. I don't know. I feel like there's a couple plays we'd want back. Ride dude, what's going on, bro? What's going on, my guy? Heinz Field is the hardest field to kick also. Yeah, but I really don't feel, honestly, to me, that doesn't mean anything. I mean, Jake Elliott, it's not like he kicked 5 yards short. He had it. It just tailed off. Cowboys scored on a Philly special play. Keep hearing about this TikTok hype. Is it worth to set up an account? I don't even use TikTok, man. Jimmy G got benched against the Dolphins. Super Bowl hangover is real. That's crazy. What's up, my guys? Sorry about the loss. Hopefully, y'all can get it next week. Hey, someone's going to need a win. Someone is going to need a win because this division stinks. But I feel like we covered a lot. Steven Edwards was going on. Watch that Travis doesn't get used later on this season. Exactly. That's what Doug seems to do. He seems to take guys out when they're at their best. And personnel just gets switched up. But, hey, everybody hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you're instantly notified when I upload or go live. Just my final recap on this game. Again, Eagles were not the better team. I thought we could pull one out, and given the circumstances, especially heading into next week. And I thought that the Eagles had the opportunity to win this game. I thought trimming the lead down from 17 to 2 points, and obviously I'll go back to look at different things, but trimming it down from 17 to 2, all the momentum on our side, and putting together some nice drives, especially in the 4th quarter. But when guys go down, and then Jake Elliott misses a 57-yard field goal, and then Carson Wentz, ends up throwing the interception, but just didn't run the ball enough, and we just give it right back, man. We just give it right back. Even when Eric Ebron fumbled, I mean, we had opportunities to take the game, and we did not take it, and our defense was terrible, and Doug didn't run the ball enough. The main bright spot was Travis Fulgham. 152 yards. I mean, second week pretty much playing in the league. He was a stud. And he looks like that guy going forward. But there's just other guys that are just disappointing. Carson Wentz still needs to put together a complete game. Ertz is terrible. I mean, just doesn't look like himself. The D-line didn't do enough. Our corners were bad. Darius Slay finally had a bad game. I mean, it was not good at all. And overall, my final take is that even though this team goes 10 for 14 on third down, even though, we're out time of possession by 10 minutes, even though, I mean, we go from 85 rushing yards in the first half and get 9 rushing yards in the second half. Like, that just can't happen. We get away from what's working. And overall, this team can't put together a complete game, a complete set of downs or just anything. We got to put together a complete game plan and execute it and show up in the big time moments. And we're not doing that for an entire 4 quarters. Too many penalties, undisciplined, but the opportunity was still there. We just didn't take it. But let's read a few more of these and then we'll get up out of here. Give me your final thoughts. Man, it would have been a nice game to win. The offense put together some things, almost 30 points for the first time this year. But, man, our defense just did not show up today. Other than Miles and Goddard, do you think Fulgham is going to be our best weapon? I do. I really do. I mean, he's that guy. I really think he's that dude. There has to be a linebacker out there better than Nathan Gerry. Yeah, there was, and his name was Nigel Bradham. And now we don't want him. And I don't know. I'm looking for these draft picks, this 3rd round draft pick that hasn't stepped foot on the field. I don't get it. Do you watch the YouTuber Tom Grossi? Yeah, I like him. He's good, man. He's a good YouTuber. Let's see. Y'all played good to the end. Could have went out better than that. That was a terrible pick at the last possession. Yeah, it was ridiculous. And I mean, even the first interception, Ertz kind of gives up on it. That it showed me a lack of heart. It just showed me that we didn't want it at that point. And yeah, that last possession was just terrible. I mean, Wentz just bombed it downfield. Yeah, just didn't go out well. Imagine the Eagles get T-Law. Wentz is very disappointing. He hasn't put it together fully yet. Cowboys are going to beat the failing Eagles both games. I don't know. I wouldn't get too confident. I mean, we all stink in this division. So, Takeem Hilton, what's going on, bro? We should have ran the ball better. Absolutely. I mean, you can't run. Again, the main focus from everybody's going to be on his defense. And everyone's going to talk about the fierce D-line of the Steelers. I get it. But at the same time, you can't run the ball 11 times with your star running back. Can't do that. Wentz had chance after chance. I thought he missed some throws. He got better as the game went on. Couldn't really finish. But there were opportunities. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm not crazy like Nate Hendricks. Shout out to you, Steven Edwards. Appreciate that. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what to say about the game. So pissed. I feel you, Jersey boy. At the end of the day, we weren't the better team, but there were opportunities. And I thought given what we had built on last week, we'd be able to capitalize, but I guess not. Coaching staff looking like suspects, in my opinion. I agree. I really do agree with that. They look lost. They look, again, Jim Schwartz is even crazier because he goes from one week looking like a genius to the next week. He can't put anything together. So, played good, but Jim Schwartz decided to put Nathan Gerry on Chase Claypool with the game on the line. I mean, how does that go through your head to decide that? And the guy that has 3 total touchdowns before that last one. I don't get it. Crazy. It's just some things that don't make sense. You know, if Darius Slay come back in the game, or if you put, I don't know, Cravon LeBlanc or someone, or at least double team Claypool, but he had pretty much a straight line to the end zone. He took one step to his left and Gerry almost tumbled. He just looked lost. It's crazy, man. Ridiculous. Defense played good enough. The offense didn't come through. What game were you watching, Kyle? I don't know if we got the same game because our defense played trash today. They were terrible. Carson had room to run on the possession before Pittsburgh's game-winning touchdown. I mean, I said he has to run more, and he has to use his feet. Again, we got a lot of things that helped propel us the last couple of weeks we got away from. But I don't think anybody played really that good today. Our offense put together some drives, but at the same time, you got to have a balanced run game. You can't blame Wentz while the defense allows all the scoring drives. My main blame is on the defense. My second main blame is not running the ball with Miles Sanders. Waiting for Fulgham to be on a roster in Madden 21. I'm a Dallas fan. Can't hate. It just wasn't good enough execution. Let's see. No clue what Schwartz is doing at all. He lost the game on that last Claypool touchdown. What kind of coverage was that? It was a cover 2, and it was soft. And then at the same time, you got Nathan Gerry on Chase Claypool. The guy that goes for his 4th touchdown. No help, nothing. And, I mean, that was the easiest thing I've ever seen. Crazy. Any update on the injuries? Hopefully Johnson and Slay are okay. I'm hoping Slay's all right. Lane Johnson, in my opinion, needs to be set for at least a few weeks. I mean, he's just not right. They keep trying to force him. It's not it. It's not it. Let's see. Officials were terrible for both games. This game, Eagles still surprised me, went to the wire. Yeah, we had opportunities to win. Had opportunities to win. The ref calls were just awful. The refs are always sus over at Pitt. Do you live near Scranton? No, I do not. I love your vids, but I'll talk trash in every video. Hey, it's what it's about, man. It's a rivalry. We go back and forth. We talk smack. It is what it is. Let's see. Fire Schwartz. I don't even think the season will finish. Honestly, no one from the East should be allowed in the playoffs this season. There are more deserving teams. I agree. Our division is bad. This loss seems more painful as we were in it than these mistakes happen. Exactly. It's like, if we just got outclassed, like, it just is what it is. And the Steelers have more talent, but I just thought we had a good chance to at least get in the game and get something rolling, but it is what it is. Predicted Eagles lose 38-24. Some guy called me a fake fan, just being real. Hey, everyone's got their opinion, man. Someone came at me earlier on Twitter for saying that I said J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, it was ironic how he finally gets a nice catch, but he gets it in the worst situation, like the most useless timing, a long bomb before half that actually works, but then the clock runs out. And it's just like, that's your first catch of the year. But people are going to talk, man. You got to just speak and give your opinion, The deep pass to Hightower was on the money, but John jumped in and goes through his hands. Yeah, and he didn't attempt to catch it the right way. He tried a basket catch when all he had to do was put his hands up. It did not make sense. It was an easy touchdown. He missed it. But hey, shout out to all 67 up in the chat. Hit the like button on the way out if you guys have not yet. Obviously, I'll be back tomorrow with another kind of post-game thoughts video when I have time to sleep and think about it more. But hey, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, hit the notification bell. The Eagles fall 38-29 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We fall to 1-3-1 at the current time. We are still in first in the NFC least, but depending on what happens with this Cowboys game, we will see. At the end of the day, Eagles did not capitalize enough. This whole division just stinks, and the Eagles, it's only going to get tougher from here on out. So we'll see how we can rebound. We got to take advantage of the situational opportunities. And I thought there were a lot here that we left on the table, things we would want back, but we'll discuss in more this upcoming week. Shout out to everybody, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. I'm definitely going to be watching the NBA Finals and watching some football. You already know how it goes. But, hey, with that being said, RB here. Philly take with RB. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.